Of all the Maddens I've played recently, I'd say my favorite was Madden 20. Not that it was a perfect game, far from it, but I had a lot of fun. And I haven't played much Madden since, besides the yearly Superstar video on this channel. Since you can import your Road to Glory from the college football game, and I think EA said like 60% of the files last year came from that import, I feel like I have to see if the mode's any better. When I was down there, they were talking about a lot of new features this year. Stuff like you can finally request a trade, you don't immediately become the starter. Insane to me that it just got attention, but at least it is. I also want to experience the heavy snow, see what this new social circle is all about inside the mode, and decide if I'm going to play a little bit more Madden this year or if it's just going to collect dust like the last couple ones have. Now, I could have filmed this during early access, but I missed the window. I'm not a Madden guy, so I wasn't jumping to get on immediately, but I am glad that I waited as long as I did because now I can import a channel favorite, Mr. Alexander Bean. A lot of this information isn't correct because I had to recreate him inside Road to Glory, but basically, he's a run-heavy quarterback who has a rough time trying to accurately throw the football. That's why as I build him out, he's going to be able to get stuff like 97 speed, but I just could not stand the thought of him starting with 60 accuracy in the NFL, so we've boosted up some of those a little bit too. These are going to be his starting stats. 75 throw power isn't that high, but it could be so much worse than that. And I am probably going to regret this, but I'm going to start on all Madden. I have no idea what team I'm going to end up getting drafted to, but we're about to find that out. I think we have to play the Combine first. Though actually, hang on.
The Combine is the biggest checkpoint. No other event has its power to elevate or sink a prospect. Everything comes down to how they test.
We better do well. We have my agent saying how I perform can really make or break my draft position, whether you earn a starting job as a rookie or if you're ending up on the bench. I'm just going to say my resume speaks for itself. We did a lot with FIU. A lot of teams remember us for that, but just because you could do it all yourself in school doesn't mean you have it in the NFL. All right, agent, are you on my side or not? Sit here and support me a little bit. Now we have to decide what is going to be our plan for the final days of prep, boost my fan popularity, or extra training. I think we got to go with extra training. That just could affect our stats in a better way. It all starts here. Take the first step in your NFL journey by getting drafted and jumping headfirst into the life of an NFL player. So, of course, that's going to be our first goal. We also have this sphere of influence. This is one of the new social circle things I mentioned in the intro. I don't remember too much about this when I was down there. I just know that I'll have a relationship with like my trainer, my coach. The coach decides whether or not we end up getting started. And as you can see with our agent, we have to build up a good enough friendship with our agent, or whatever this meter is, so we can actually trade to a different team. My whole goal with this video is to just play through a season, see what the superstar mode is like. So we're going to finish a full season here. But we still have to deal with this first step, and that is the NFL Combine.
One of the most important events in the pre-draft process, as these players try to convince all 32 NFL teams that they should be their first-round pick.
My guess is not much has changed.
As much for today as they did for the most important games of their college careers. We've got our eyes on a lot of the biggest names here, but there's one of my fellow signal callers in particular we're all very excited to see test.
That, of course, this electrifying athlete at the quarterback position. And he's up next at the Combine's most popular event. It's time for the 40-yard dash.
I wish they called him Mr. Alexander Bean, but good little intro there. Now, if there's any of these that are the most important to me, it is definitely this one because this will affect my speed throughout our career. So we're just going to spam this. We're going to spam this. We're digging deep, still spamming. And we just ran a 4.43. I think for a quarterback, that's very impressive. We are a little bit behind Jalen Milroe, which is fine. I mean, Jalen Milroe is a beast himself. Seeing how close we came to getting an A grade and then probably getting +5 speed and acceleration, it hurts that we were a little bit slower than that, but we're just going to leave it. This will be my first playthrough. Now for the bench press, if you watch my Superstar video every year, I never, ever do good with this drill. Maybe Alexander Bean can be the difference maker though, and we did not catch that in time. It didn't count that rep there. This is not a great start. Okay, we got the full thrust there. It's dropping down. We're going to get 5, but I didn't go all the way down. I mean, there was just failures all around. I also don't know why it says we're from Abilene Christian down there. Maybe I missed it during player creation, but I thought it would just import that he played for FIU. I just don't get what the point of importing your player is if they don't actually come in with the college that they played for. Broad jump, I feel like that went pretty well. It wasn't the best of all the quarterbacks. We're down there at number 6 with Brady Cook having the best broad jump. Our performance, though, is going to increase our jumping ability, and who cares about that on a quarterback? With the 20-yard shuttle, this is typically one that I do pretty well on. We're just going to start off by having to cut this way. Easy. You have plenty of time to react to what the buttons are asking you to do, which I need. and that gives us a 4.18. Right behind Brady Cook again, though. We'll see what stat that ends up boosting. I'm hoping that it's changed of direction, and it is. Finally, though, it is where Alexander Bean does his worst. Accuracy time. How well is he going to do at the combine? It's kind of funny that he is loved on the channel, and then I absolutely can't stand him. Though he did a lot of great things for FIU. I got to give him his props. We're going to hit this wheel route over there and miss our receiver. I cannot say I'm shocked. All in all, though, I think we're going to end up getting 7 of these 8, especially if we just hit that cut at the right time. It'll really all come down to this throw, though, and that is in the middle of the square. He ended up getting a B grade just because of that one missed pass. It didn't boost accuracy or anything, though, so not sure what the point of it was. Now, with my combine performance, it says we are projected to be a mid-first rounder with Alexander Bean. And basically, any college you could ever think of, imaginable, is on here, so it's going to take me a while, but we have been able to change his college to FIU. It's not time for him to get drafted yet, though. We have a combine interview coming up. It says we're meeting with a potential team here, so we'll see who this is. Hi, nice to meet you. Thanks for taking time to meet with us today. Who do you represent? Give me a logo or something. To get to know you better, we have prepared a few questions for you. I wish they ended up doing this with like actual voice acting and stuff. I just don't like how this is displayed. It's Super Bowl week and you witness your star teammate violating curfew. How do you handle it? I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to be a snitch. Then it's the 4th quarter and the game's on the line, but the play call comes in and you notice an opportunity in the opponent's pre-snap alignment. What do? I am 100% going to abandon the assignment I want and take advantage of what I'm seeing. If I end up throwing an interception or messing up out of that, who cares? I'm going to have to make that decision myself. How do you handle a teammate who criticizes the coaching staff to the media after a loss? I'm just going to have his back. I am not going to be against my teammates. This is helping our influence on receivers. It keeps popping that up in the bottom corner. How do you prepare your body during the off season? I think we have to get a personal trainer. That is unlocked one for us, and I'm not going to throw to my tight end underneath on 3rd and long. I got to throw to the star receiver here. I also don't know if I want to be known for my celebrations on the field. I'll do the talking with my ink. I just figured I'd rather get some tattoos on Alexander Bean, but I have to purchase them, so I guess we're going to be going with the Hawaiian ones. No Hawaiian heritage for Alexander Bean, but he has full sleeves on both arms already. I also realized none of his drip carried over from the college game, so we're going to have to put some on him. There are certain things that I can purchase later on. I just don't think I'm going to end up doing that. It also told me to check out my sphere of influence because we have unlocked a new person, Jackson Steele. It's our tattoo artist. This is where, as we get him to higher levels, that's how we get more tattoos. Apparently, though, I have to be able to complete some of these tasks here, and that's how we level up our influence. I think the fan base one is pretty neat because if we have the fan base on our side, then we're going to have a home field advantage, and it's going to increasingly get better and better. But if we're playing bad and the fans are against us, then there is going to be a disadvantage. That would be pretty embarrassing to have a disadvantage at home. It is time for the NFL draft, though. I'm hoping that we get drafted by a good team here.
Rings, time stops. It's the single second that years upon years of work have been leading toward, and the conversation that follows ends one chapter of a football life while beginning.
Is that the Falcons drafting us? We are on the clock and we're about to put in the pick. Are you ready to be a Falcon? Not really. Didn't they just get Michael Penix like a year ago? And then they also have someone else. I don't keep up that much with the NFL. Is it Kirk Cousins that they have right now? It also just said we're from Abilene Christian. I changed that to FIU. Whatever. We're going to be a Falcon. But since I'm assuming that Kirk Cousins and also Michael Penix are not that high of an overall, we should be able to earn the starting job in season 1. This is our moment to shine. We get to sign our contract. I'm assuming not much has changed about this screen. I don't even get the point of this right here. It just tells you how much you're going to make. You can't negotiate it or anything, but we will sign no matter what. There are players that might hold out in this spot. It won't be Alexander Bean. And our first chapter is move up the depth chart. Only the truly elite can say they ever started an NFL game, put in the work, and seize every opportunity you get to impress your coach. So this is something that obviously needed to be in superstar mode forever. I don't know how it just got here, but wherever you get drafted, you're not just guaranteed to be the starter anymore. Like, let's say the Chiefs had drafted me last year on Madden. I would have just been the starter as a rookie over Patrick Mahomes. That just blows my mind. Instead, though, now we have to earn the trust of Raheem Morris, the Falcons head coach, as we're sitting in between QB2 and QB1 on the sphere of influence. Due to how I answered some of those pre-draft interview questions as well, we get to start with level 5 tier of of influence on Drake London, our wide receiver 1, the higher that climbs, the better he's going to perform for us. That's another thing I want to be keeping an eye on. And I also have to go in here to upgrade our core skills, see if we can purchase anything, because at the moment, we are very bad. None of that can change yet. I still have to go through training, I guess play our preseason game, and get some action on the field. If it's preseason, then we will be out there. The weekly activities, though, is this like what it was last year, just on the menu? Fans will be waiting after the game to get your autograph. If you stay to greet them, you'll be running late. I don't care if I'm late to the podcast. I should greet the fans. Hang on. Never mind. I don't care about the fans. This is going to boost our influence with our agent. The reason I find that important is because if we boost our influence with our agent and we don't like the Falcons, we're going to be able to request a trade. That is just always something I'm going to have in the back of my mind. For our training this week, you could rest and that'll help with your wear and tear recovery, but since we're going to be sitting here on the bench, I think we should focus on like moderate difficulty. I actually really like how they have that worked in, even more than in Road to Glory, assuming it functions properly, because that incentivizes you to do well in training every week. The harder of a practice that we go after, the more trust we're going to earn with our coach. And this pass skeleton drill is pretty straightforward. Just don't throw an incompletion. The second that you do that, you will basically lose all the bonuses that stack up very fast. Here's the hard thing though. Whenever we get down inside the end zone, we're going to need a tough catch. As I've continued to hit every single throw, my thoughts on the gameplay are it feels a little bit slower than college. Faster than last year on Madden for sure, because last year's Madden was rough. But there you go. Alexander Bean missing a throw. I'm not surprised. We are not going to get that gold medal with him. We're just going to have to settle for silver unless this somehow goes for 6. But it didn't, and all we had to earn was 308 more points to earn a gold medal. We should still get a solid kickback from that, though. It is time that we play our first game. We'll see how much coach trusts us to get out there in this one. For whatever reason, I'm sitting here trying to edit our uniforms and see what they look like, but the guy's just invisible, so we're not going to have a clue. I wanted to go with some color rushes. Here we go, though. It is time for our preseason debut. Your first taste of professional football as a player. Coach is giving you the whole second quarter to show what we got. I don't see the play clock on the scoreboard though. Maybe it'll appear after this play. I'm taking a sack. I should have adjusted the camera angle. It was throwing me off at first. Now that we're in a better camera angle, we're getting hit. Maybe leaving this on all Madden was a mistake for someone that's not great at these games, but we found the seam and it's caught. What did I say Alexander Bean does best? It was running the football. So that's why we got him out there with the read option. He's going to take off and go like nowhere. Now that we're getting a little bit farther into this drive, though, I'm more relaxed with him. I'm trying to hot route, but I'm not able to. I would assume it's because we have to earn that ability. And that could have easily been picked. I don't know what I was thinking. Obviously, that was not a good showing there, but as we continue to play and we get back out there on the field, we have another chance. We were the 15th pick in the NFL draft, which is something that we need to show the fans was for a reason. So we're going to hit our tight end and take 8 yards. Now, I will say, until we get more head coach influence, there's only a couple of plays that I'm able to call. I like that. Again, they've done some stuff with superstar mode where it incentivizes you to get better every year and you don't just come in as a superstar as a rookie. With about 90 seconds left in this first half, our flat is going to be completely guarded. It is true, I was staring down our running back and I didn't want to take the risk there. I'll stare down Bijan again though, and he catches it. He fumbled though. The clock continues to run. 37 seconds left in the first half. We're just going to have to beam it. Hope that we make the catch. I saw that we had the inside leverage. Alexander Bean, what are you doing? Get up to the line and snap it from there. Drake London cuts inside. We make another good throw. We're at the 8. See, here's the thing. Without audibles, it's going to be hard to get in. But I'm looking at Drake London. He's not open. Alexander Bean using his legs, doing what he does best as he dives into the end zone. I really don't like how my username in my level 1 is popping up in the middle of the celebration. That was just something I picked up on when I played this game early. It's just like a pointless pop-up that doesn't need to be there, but at least we scored. That was the last time that we'd see the field for that first preseason game, but as the preseason goes on, I'm expecting more opportunity. I feel like our stats turned out pretty well. I guess Michael Penix played the rest of the preseason game, even after we only got a quarter to ourselves. And if we look over at the depth chart, Kirk Cousins is going to be quarterback 3. He's a mentor to both of us as the Falcons decide which of us is going to be the QB of the future. Now that we've hit level 4, certain things are going to begin to unlock. I wanted to be able to develop some of our stats, but I haven't been able to do that yet still. It's like holding us back from doing it. It's blocked out, so I think there's just certain things I have to complete before we're able to, like this welcome to the team section. Here we are in the training facility. Alexander, welcome to the team. How are you feeling after your first few practices? I feel like I'm doing pretty well so far. I'm guessing Shane Jones is another guy that's going to be one of our trainers. The NFL season is long and every week presents a change. Can you handle adjusting your preparation every week? I'm ready to do whatever it takes. That's just going to increase our influence with this coach. So basically everything is tied to that sphere of influence. Shane Jones is my strength and conditioning coach, though. He just gets me more stamina and toughness as we increase that influence. Again, what I care about is the influence on our agent, just so I can trade teams if I end up being unhappy. Now, I am curious. I've noticed that our body's already starting to take a little bit of a hit. So if I were to just rest this week instead of train, I want to see if that gets our wear and tear impacts all the way back to 100%. For the weekly activity, I know that if we go to interviews and I don't worry about Henry Brock, my offensive coordinator, that's going to help my influence with my agent. And there's this whole notification screen as well if I want to track all the things I'm unlocking, because I feel like there's a lot happening at once. So this is nice for me to be able to see it in a different view. I also just realized I might be the dumbest YouTuber you end up watching. All I had to do was just scroll over and I would have been able to purchase upgrades this entire time with the 4 skill points that we have. I really feel like throw power is an important one for us to focus on first, which is why we're going to develop up to an 84. Just 75, it's not enough for me. That has also allowed us to unlock an ability, which is going to be arm talent. Passers with this ability have slightly increased velocity on bullet passes, which should be good. We're going to equip it. Never mind, I would much rather have quarterback playmaker as an option. We're immediately taking off arm talent. As we unlock more ability slots, then I can put on the other stuff. I also can't unlock any of these X factors until level 10 at the very least. Bazooka, my favorite and the best one's going to be level 30. And another thing I can't increase myself is going to be our speed. That is something I can't develop. I think it just happens over time. I don't know what I did to acquire 96 speed, but at the moment, the bottom left corner, it says we're boosted up there. So we should feel very fast in this next preseason game. It is going to be against Cam Ward and the Titans. Starting in the second quarter, like the last week, we're just going to immediately get this throw out and almost throw a pick. That was almost a disaster. Their man-to-man coverage is locking up well. Maybe Kyle Pitts is going to get open on this 3rd and 10, though I would much rather just go to Bijan Robinson. Another thing I really have not considered much of is just trying to scramble, though up the middle would have been way better. I didn't know they were going to have a guy on a quarterback contain, roll out, hit the sideline, and place it in the right spot. Here we go. Now we're looking for Kyle Pitts up the middle. We have been able to just immediately run out, pick up that block there. See, our speed is one of our greatest gifts, though I don't know if we can escape this back here. We're going to have to throw this one away. And I haven't even been looking over in Drake London's direction. Can he beat the press? We're going to see if Alexander Bean can give him a chance at a 50-50 ball, which he dropped. We have found ourselves in a 3rd and 10 situation. We can go underneath, stay in field goal range. I was trying to hurry up and stay on the field. Coach didn't let that happen. My objective for this next drive is throw for a passing touchdown, so I can't run it in the same way that we did last week, though I can run at first. Our spin move is going to need an upgrade. That was really hard to watch there. Quick out route, though. They were not prepared for it. I've noticed a lot of plays have a halfback angle route in this playbook as well, which is nice since I can't audible. Bijan Robinson has a chance to go all the way. Get me that passing touchdown, buddy. Apparently, the ball did cross over the line there, so we got it. We must have forced a turnover too, or just a quick stop, because with 43 seconds left in the first half, we have the ball back, and I waited way too long to make a read here. I'm trying so hard not to throw an interception because we're going for the starting job, which is why you're going to see me be more cautious than I normally would be. Once I earn that starting job, it is going to be time to just throw interception after interception. We're not going to talk about what just happened right there. We're facing a lot of pressure here. Alexander Bean just go down. This is the NFL, dude. Running back in the pocket's not going to work the way it was in the college game, especially for him. Though, that is such a great place pass. We're just going for field goal range because we would like to have a 6-point lead at halftime. I'm going to try and thread it over the middle and get very lucky. They could have made a play on that ball and forced an interception. Instead, though, we've continued to have a good preseason game where the wear and tear impacts are picking up, but we are out there in the 3rd quarter. We are down inside the red zone, and I want that passing touchdown. Let's see, what are they giving us? Maybe we end up running for it here, especially if we just pick up that blocker. I was hoping for a stiff arm, not a pass. That will make it 3rd and 14, and this is a red meter. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. The lights are flashing. Finally, we have an option to pull it with the read option too. And come on. It was the right read. Our offensive line just couldn't hold. Now the expectation is we're about to drive 92 yards down the field and not turn it over. I feel like Alexander Bean's actually doing a pretty good job of not throwing any interceptions. That last ball might not have been caught, but he put it where the defense just couldn't get to. On 3rd and 5, I accidentally pump faked there, but that's fine. We're going to scramble. He doesn't feel like a 96 speed quarterback, though. He definitely feels a little bit slow. I think it's because our wear and tear damage is picking up, though, and we are about to go down. We got to get rid of it. See, we're currently losing a lot of speed and a lot of throw power. It makes me think that I'm going to have to adjust the sliders for it, because it's not like we've played that long in this matchup. It could also partially be my fault, because I took away some of our skill points from toughness and just said, it'll be okay. Alexander Bean can handle himself. For the most part, he has, though. And as we go for a deep pass with a dude in our face, we get hit. We don't get it out in time, making it 3rd and 11. I was going to roll out and playmaker. I'll take the sack. That was the last time we'd see the field in this preseason game, which is probably a good thing. We're going to be limping off of the field when you all see the wear and tear impacts. We've taken 152 passing yards, a touchdown, 38 rushing yards here. It feels like we're progressing pretty well towards becoming the starter. As you can see, it's not that far away. I think we're going to earn a position battle after another week or two. Apparently, I still haven't met my coordinator either. We're going to do that. I don't know how this hasn't happened since I've been playing with him for weeks, but here we are. Let's see. What does he want? It's been intense, but really rewarding. I'm learning a lot every day. From Alexander Bean. Let's discuss your role. You're currently our backup, and as you know, Michael Penix Jr. is the starter. How do you plan to stay patient, waiting for your chance to step up? I could say I should be starting now and just force the drama. You know what? We're forcing drama here at Atlanta. If I am unliked here, I'll just request a trade. In response to my demands, Henry Brock, my coordinator, doesn't seem that upset either. We still haven't moved up yet, though, and you know what? I actually want to go to PT. It's not that I don't care about the local food bank or anything. I just know the wear and tear damage is starting to pick up a little bit. Alexander Bean's not a bad person, just the person controlling him might be. Look at the wear and tear damage, though. Like, if I don't rest, then we're not going to be able to be successful. This is insane. You can see our speed has dropped because of it. And we're going to have to play in another preseason game, which is going to make this worse. The worst part is I can't figure out how to adjust the sliders or anything. The only thing we can change in league settings are these few options. I don't know how we're going to fare against the Cowboys here, but I would expect us to not do much. This is my final preseason game. Coach has given me the reins for the entire first half. That is great and all, but only if we can have a huge play. Apparently, we had an illegal man downfield. It wouldn't have mattered if I got that throw off or not. And is there stadium pulse in this game? I didn't know they added Stadium Pulse to Madden. We caught it. We caught it. I don't know why, but it looked like Ray McLeod dropped that ball at first. We're about to have to fake out Micah Parsons, and we do, but they have someone waiting. As you can see, our wear and tear report, it's not that bad at the moment. But if we're going to be able to last this game, I probably can't run the ball that much. I was looking over at Drake London, seeing if he could beat the press there. He didn't, but he might be able to on this play, so I'm still going to be staring him down. We might as well just go over to Kyle Pitts and make a good throw. You know, for Alexander Bean's accuracy stats, being as low as they are, he's been more accurate in the NFL than he was in college. And it is kind of crazy that for a kid that wasn't even the starter on his team, he is out there as a first-round pick, but we just fumbled the football away. What am I supposed to do about that? That better not take a hit to what we've done in this game so far, because it's not our fault. We have completed our first coach objective while dealing with a little bit more wear and tear than originally. As this game goes on, I expect us to get slower and slower. We were just able to playmaker, though, with Bijan Robinson. That is such an important ability to have. He's been a menace out of the backfield for us, too. Will I ever call a run play in this whole quarterback playthrough? Absolutely not. This is my superstar mode. It's not on our running back. I will say, though, if the game actually allowed us to super sim and skip some of these plays, which I would prefer, then I'd happily run the ball whenever coach wanted to. It's just the fact that we can't do that, and that's something we can't do in the college game either, which is a letdown to me, but I'm not too upset if Kyle Pitts is making plays like this. I do think it's a really big feature to have in superstar mode, though, because if you don't want to play every single regular season game and every snap of it, there's no way to skip over it. You have to play every snap. I don't know. Just something I've always wanted in some of these modes, though some could say it just defeats the purpose of playing through it. And then I'd say, well, maybe I just don't enjoy playing the careers as much as I think I do. Look at that, a second passing touchdown, though. Since I'm not just running straight into guys in this game either, we've actually been able to heal the wear and tear damage that we took earlier on, though that might be the first interception. I tried to take a shot down the field, and it wasn't really there. We're going to step up with Alexander Bean and slide. We can actually sit here, celebrate this first down marker. all on the Cowboys logo. Now we have a 2 tight end set out there on the field. I think you know which of the 2 I'm going to be staring down. Though, if our drag gets that open, I can take it. We currently have a B+ teammate grade, so this could be one of the best grades I ever get while playing through a Superstar or Road to Glory. For this being on All Madden, with as bad as our accuracy stats are, just comparing it to college, Heisman difficulty is miles harder than this has been so far. I don't know. We'll see if that plays out throughout this entire video. My opinion on it might change, but it almost just feels too easy for this to be the hardest difficulty. We are on a 3rd and 7, though, where our drag is going to just get us enough. Those have been absolute money for us, and it's always money to go underneath. I've also noticed the defense is just not out there on Drake London. They're probably going to jump out there pretty quickly, but they were not aligned properly to stop us. I know it's the preseason. There's a lot of backups out there on the field, but this game against the Cowboys just felt like an absolute cakewalk for us. Almost 200 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. We completed basically every drive. It just did not take long for us to become the starter, overcome obstacles, capitalize on your opportunities, and give your coach no choice but to name you the starter. Either we're beginning this chapter or we just completed it. We also have unlocked teammate abilities, which are going to make our teammates play better. I think this is really neat. So if we got like pass block drill, players with this ability increase the time that the pass rusher has to wait before they can attempt a shed move against their center. More importantly, though, these catch drills, players with this ability grant one of the wide receivers a moderate boost, and then players with this ability grant one of their running backs a moderate boost. So I think we just have to go with wide receiver catch drill for now. There's another slot for a silver teammate ability, and then we can do that for a halfback. So we're going to have 2 players out there on the field that are better at catching. We also have another ability slot for ourselves unlocked, which means gift wrapped could be nice. Passers with this ability have a better chance to complete passes to uncovered receivers, but I wanted arm talent. We know the wear and tear damage is getting bad. We're down to 85 speed, and we've also gotten Cal Pitts as a new sphere of influence, but I want to continue to get this throw power up. It's just going to be beneficial to us to have 90 throw power. After doing that, we can start to work on some of these other accuracies that are a little bit cheaper to purchase. And I just reopened the Sphere of Influence tab where I'm starting to feel a bit overwhelmed. We have so many different relationships that we're trying to keep up right now. But Kyle Pitts, we have a 20 catching boost to him because we're level 6 on his influence tree. With Bijan Robinson, he's got plus 20 break tackle and plus 20 pass block because we're at level 7. These boosts that we're getting for our teammates are crazy, but this is actually something that at first I was like, I don't want to see this at all in the college game. Now you might be able to stick with a smaller school that's not as good if they had something like this and make the guys around you better with abilities and also being able to get their stats up. It's kind of been neat to see all of this develop so far. Again, when they pitched this down at the event where we're there for Madden in college, I was sitting there like, this seems overwhelming. I don't know if I'd like it. So far, haven't run into bugs with it, and it seems cool. Obviously, that could still change. We have 2 different meetings that we got to go through. I think meeting with coach is the most important one since we have a starting job on the line here. We're in coach's office.
Hall of Fame career begins with a superstar debut. Many faces in Canton needed time before they got on the field. Such is how his career is destined to begin.
All right. There we are with Coach. Welcome to the start of the regular season, Alexander. We're glad to have you on the squad. Thanks, Coach Morse. I'm excited to be here. As you know, you made the squad as a backup, but I want you to compete hard for that starting job. Are we staying as the backup? I guess I could be thankful, but I wanted drama. I'm not going to be thankful to be the backup. I want to demand opportunity, and Coach actually liked that. He likes that we're not just going to sit around. I like your determination. Keep pushing hard in practice, and you'll get your chance. That's what I like to hear, Raheem Morris. We also have our sports psychologist. She's a blonde. You can't complain about that. I wanted to let you know I'm here to help you stay focused. Having a clear mind. Too much is moving. I can't read all this at once. You know what? Sounds great to me. You look good when you said it. Remember, after the game, your momentum resets. Come see me to track your progress as you build it back up. Maybe I should have read what's happening here. I guess we got momentum every week that we got to keep up with. There's no game, so all we can do is train, which I can't do until we recover from wear and tear. And then some of these weekly activities. At a party, you get introduced to a famous dancer that has choreographed for their biggest pop stars. They jokingly offer to help you learn how to dance for celebrations. I'll take me a cruise up on the offer for obvious reasons. I mean, look at her. This is going to help our influence with her. I'd love to learn more dances. I want to be able to unlock Cartwheel by the end of the season. I think that would be a sick one to get. apparently she can become a part of our inner circle as well if we max out that influence. I don't know what the bonuses are if we get some of these people in our inner circle, like our agent, who we're still far away on if we wanted to trade teams. It'll be interesting to see what that looks like the farther we get into this. We're about 1,000 XP away from becoming the starter. We have to earn 1,000 more with our head coach. So every week, if we can train successfully with a gold medal, by about mid-season, we should be the starter. I am a little bit impatient though, so I selected the hardest drill that I could, hoping that we're able to complete this. And oh my gosh, there are 4 balls coming at us at once. This is sick. I have never seen this drill be this difficult. They need to add this to the college game immediately, because it's just shooting all over us every single time. Move, move, move. Pocket presence. This is absolutely the best time I've ever had playing this drill. It's so boring in the college game. You only get 1 ball coming at you at a time. It's so easy to dodge. This is different though. I mean, look at them. They're just flying in your direction. You move around it. You make a decent throw. I know that they end up sharing assets for these 2 games. How hard would it be for them to just slide this one over to the college side for us? We're only going to get a silver medal with it, which does stink. I was trying to get gold. My throws just weren't that accurate, but it's okay. Weekly activity, new tattoo studio. Your tattoo artist has recently opened up a new studio and would like you to attend the celebration event, but you had plans to hang out with Drake London. Listen, Drake, I'll hang out with you. I'm not going to switch up on Drake, my #1 receiver. Like we learned earlier on, if we can just get him up to that next tier of influence, his catching is going to become way better. His route running can. I don't know what deep elite means. I think it's an ability for him, but that's what I'm paying attention to. And it's already told us here in week 2, there's an injury on the field. The starter has gone down and the team is relying on you to fill in for the rest of the game. So I get to become the starter against the Vikings. I'm going to guess that for everybody's quarterback playthrough, that opportunity's just coded in. We got a different scoreboard down here for an actual NFL season game. And immediately we're going down. It is 3rd and 7. I'm seeing cover 3 out there on the field. But if it's going to be cover 1, then we're just going to have to hit Bijan Robinson in the flat to the 40-yard line. Alexander Bean handling himself pretty well so far. The problem we are facing is this Vikings defensive line is just eating us alive. But we stood back there, we make the throw and the catch somehow. I thought that was going to be a touchdown, but Alexander Bean did not put it close enough to the end zone. Quick fork zig is one of my favorite plays in the college game, though. Is it going to be one of my favorite plays in the Madden game? I think it might. Never mind. You sit here and you say, oh, you hate on Alexander Bean too much. Do you see the passes that he's missing? That could have easily been a touchdown. We got lucky that we got it here. And look at all those boosts to our influence on different players. We also have a coach objective, pass for 100 yards. That is not going to be hard for us to break. I mean, we passed for 100 yards while only playing through a quarter. I really wanted to throw that streak, but we decided to just run with Alexander Bean and juke out a guy too. I still can't hot route or anything. I love that that's a feature. I think some people won't like that they can't audible at first, that they can't hot route, but I enjoy that. Like I said, I play basically just this for Madden, and then I never touch the game again every year. It's been too easy in the past whenever I've played it early. We got lucky with the aggressive catch. It could have been intercepted. Now that you actually start as the backup, though, you have to earn your time on the field. You're not just immediately a superstar. I feel like that just adds so much more depth. I can't give too much credit, though. The fact that you were just immediately the starter all the way up until Madden 26 is crazy. Like, I'm glad it's getting the attention it is, but man, that took a while for it to happen. The good thing is I think all that came from the college game doing so well versus Madden last year. They noticed that it just blew it out of the water, and they have to continue to do stuff to make it a good football game. Even if Madden's not my game, I don't play it that much, I would love to see this one be great for all the people that do. I can also say this is such like a very tiny critique with this game, but I feel like the buttons that they changed it to a couple years ago just looks like a mobile game. I threw my first pick. That's what I get. I say something bad and EA says, here's your first interception. We still have a lead, though, here in the 3rd quarter. I am hoping that if we can pull off this win, coach decides we're the starter. His playbook is starting to get pretty repetitive. We have only been given like the same 10 to 15 plays to select between, which is a bit of an issue, though when they're great ones like this, we'll take it. Is that a touchdown? Turns out Kyle Pitts was literally short like 3 inches there. He needed 3 more inches to get the job done. We'll go with the jet touch pass just to get credit for the touchdown. That did not work either, though. I'm greedy. Alexander Bean needs credit, so we're going to motion that guy out. It's in the play. Then we're going to keep it, and we're going to lose more yards. I'm trying to boost those stats so we can become the starter. They got inside leverage, which is going to make it hard to pull off this slant, but Drake London's just that good. He makes the catch. We also got to stop on the defensive side of the ball, so as we get this back in the fourth quarter, we need to hang on to this lead. One thing I do like that you can do in this game is you're able to adjust the tempo, so you can turn on chew clock. This is something you can't do in Road to Glory. It at least helps if you're trying to get through that final quarter when you have a lead. It's something I've been wanting in that mode forever, the same as Super Sim. Because if you're up by a bunch, you don't want to play. Like, if I help my team take a 28-point lead, I don't care to play in the third and fourth quarter. Some of you might. I just want the option to skip over it. Because most likely what's going to happen is the longer I play, the more I'm going to hurt my stats. After that drop, we are faced with a big 3rd and 10 here. I'm not sure what my read's going to be yet. We might just look underneath because that'll keep us in field goal range. We hit this kick, we take a 2-possession lead, and that's exactly what happened. We're trying to run out more of the clock as well. There's no quarterback designed runs for Alexander Bean. If I wanted them there, I would have needed to switch the playbook over to something like the Ravens, I'm guessing. But we can go out for a QB kneel, and that should end the game. Unlike the college one, it didn't run out the rest of the clock for whatever reason. It looked like it was going to for a split second, but we have been able to step up as the backup. 237 passing yards, 34 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. I'll take it. You can sit there and say you threw your first interception. That was rough, and you didn't complete 7 of your passes, but I'll consider this a very good stat line. I'm happy with it, and my coordinator says, Alexander, wanted to let you know your hard work on the practice field's getting noticed, and I say, I deserve to start right now. We want to say, get us out there on the field. Why am I waiting? He didn't like that. You have to be patient here. Just be ready when the time comes. Coach Morris is watching closely. Keep grinding. You'll get your shot soon. Which is probably true. We're just 600 influence away from it. And we're so far away from being able to force a trade that we have no option but to be stuck on the Falcons until then. I do realize it's kind of ironic that for the whole end of Alexander Bean's college career, all I wanted him to do was not be the starter. And now I want him to be the starter more than anything. The strange DM, you received a DM on social media from an account that seems to know a little too much, but they seem friendly to you. I guess we're going to have to reply to a hacker with a meme. I'm kind of confused. What could a hacker possibly have to do with our sphere of influence here? Unknown identity, archetype reset. So this would allow us to reset our archetype if we wanted to. That makes some sense, actually. If you wanted to switch up your build, if you didn't like how it was looking, you should have that ability to. So far, we're already a few weeks into the NFL season. The league standings, where are we sitting at? Where are the Falcons sitting at? We are 1-2. For whatever reason, I can't see our personal team schedule. I feel like that's kind of weird, just like a little menu that should be there. But if we go week to week, we could sort and find where we lost. I feel like if the Panthers are beating us, that is a major problem. We were a part of the one win that we had because the Falcons also lost to the Buccaneers. Not a good start to conference play for them, but with our wear and tear damage back to 100%, we are able to go into another practice where pocket presence is the same drill that we just played. I have absolutely no problem with that, though. You all saw how much I love this drill the first time. They can shoot all those balls at us. I was pumped up for it, but I've already been hit a couple of times. As we also get out of the pocket here, I feel like even the silver medal, if I wasn't hitting some bullseyes, wouldn't be possible this go around. What I have been able to figure out, though, is you almost want to angle yourself in front of it, and then you just want to tap the button to get the best throw possible. So we're going to do that here. Angle to the side, can't get a bullseye. With like 5 seconds left on the clock, we got the silver medal. That is not going to get us gold. We're literally 400 coach trust away, though, from becoming the starter. And on weekly activities, we are going to have a tattoo brainstorm. Your artist would like to meet up and brainstorm ideas for your next tattoo, but the coordinator wants to go out to dinner and chat after training. I don't care about the coordinator. He's not going to make me the starter. I'd much rather get some more tattoos. To get to even the Japanese half sleeve, though, it is clearly going to take longer than I was thinking. We're going to have to earn a lot of influence. Maybe I should have thought that through a little bit more. I do like how they reworked these weekly activities, though. The past couple years when I've played it, I know I've just not enjoyed it at all. Some of these have been pretty fun, though. I don't care what our backup running back thinks of us. We're going to ask him to sign the ball so we can have the hacker on our good side. I don't want to lose our social media. He can be upset. The next week, we got an opportunity to get more one-on-one time with Mia Cruz, so we're just going to recover our wear and tear through training by not going to practice and then get a dance lesson because you know why. We also have another opportunity to play the game. The team is down big going into the fourth quarter and needs a spark. Coach is calling my number instead of Michael Penix's. He's already annoyed with him. This is a Sunday night primetime game, so this is a very big. I still can't see the display of these jerseys. Slight bug we've run into there. though I will be changing our playbook over to the Ravens just because I want to see if we can get some more running plays. We made ourselves very fast for a reason. That was what Alexander Bean was best at. Apparently, the other game we came into this season as well was primetime because it was this same scoreboard. I know that they have a rotation of those that you get to go between. Kyle Pitts cuts up for the first. Just a whiff tackle from them there. We are in the fourth quarter, by the way, so there's not that much time for us to pull off a 14-point comeback. I love that we're getting this opportunity, though. If this is cover one, we're in trouble. We're in a lot of trouble as we are trying to escape Nick Bosa. We're going to juke. It did not register with Alexander being there. I thought I was going to be able to escape that. Kyle Pitts is such a beast, though. It's Alexander Bean that is selling. It's going to be 4th and 19. The odds of us picking this up just are not that high. We're kind of ruining our opportunity. Our one coach objective is win the game, and we're currently trailing by 21 points. So I think coach is going to end up being pretty disappointed. This limited playbook is not helping us, though. Drake London, one-on-one, didn't even get the throw off. I'm just going to have to force it a couple times for an interception. I mean, this San Francisco defensive line is eating us alive. No wonder Michael Penix was struggling in this game. That is going to be the end of it. We did not shine with our opportunity. It also means we're going to have to recover from wear and tear damage from barely being out there for a quarter, so I can't continue to train and earn that starting job. That has definitely been a big letdown. Big Streamer's game. A well-known streamer has invited you to come play Madden with him and his buddies on a live stream. It could be a lighthearted and fun way to connect with fans, but you have to skip personal training. You know what? We are going to connect with the fans anyway. Whose stream are we joining here? That was a perfect opportunity for Madden to just add someone in here that's a huge creator as well. Instead, it's the hacker that gets that boost. It looks like it says we're not starting this week. Get some reps in training, but we're going to be able to play this game. What just happened? I'm so confused. It says like we could play the game, but when we click on it, it just goes to a random box score. So that's bugged out. We're going to just advance the week. Then in week 9, you're not starting this week. Take the week to focus on improving yourself and work towards the starting position. So that makes sense. This is just on there, but we can't go into the game ourselves. We're currently 3-4. We really have to just do well in training to earn that coach trust. Now, I thought this was just going to give us different drills every single week. I'm a little bit surprised that it's not rotating through them anymore because I think that would have been super neat, that you're not just playing the exact same training every single time. But what I will say is if there was going to be one that I was going to be pretty solid at, it would be this drill. So as long as we can get silver, that is going to increase our chance of becoming the starter. As much of a role as I was on, though, I ended up getting hit by the balls, which just resets all of your bonuses. So we're going to be stuck with another silver. It feels so challenging to get a gold medal in this drill. Again, though, I think that's important for games like this. I like that you can be the backup. I like that things are a challenge. You don't want everything to just be easy. Concert tickets. Bijan Robinson friend is dating a very famous singer and got some concert tickets as a gift. He wants you to join him instead of going through the playbook with your coordinator. You know what? I will always hang out with him. I've really missed out on anything I could have been doing with Henry Brock, which does hurt because this unlocks more teammate abilities for us, but we know that this is going to make Bijan better on the field. And what is sweet is if we have one more good training, I think we're going to unlock enough coach trust to actually be the starter next week. There we go. We got passing skeleton too. All we have to do is perform well in this drill. This is a drill I feel very confident in as we just have to complete every pass. If we're going to mess up the first pass by dropping it, that's a good time to make that mistake. However, I will say, it has definitely been a struggle to get some of these. In the college game, this drill is not a problem at all for me, but if we drop that, all of our bonuses reset. We're going to end up getting bronze on this drill, so it's just going to be another week of sitting on the bench. And my agent has put us in such a hard spot. I love Mia Cruz. I wanted to stay, going to all the Mia Cruz events, but we want our agent to be a high overall so we can actually get a trade request, which means I can't go to her show. I have to focus on training instead. That upset our agent, and we lost influence while getting more with Mia. Either that didn't work, or I must be very bad at reading. Looking at our influence right now, we are so close to unlocking that QB battle. We really need to soon as well, because if we go to the NFC standings, we're outside the playoffs. We're currently sitting at 4-5. And I don't care to keep boosting up our influence with this hacker. We're going to let our agent plan a better date for a surprise appearance, and that'll boost some influence there. It takes such a big boost, though, to our agent to ever be able to demand a trade that it's not going to happen this first season. All we need to have is a good pocket presence drill. I made this one as simple as I could. We're only going to have one ball coming at a time, and that should allow me to at least guarantee a silver. I'm just not going to get up to a gold medal, though, in this drill this entire video. It's okay, though. Becoming the starter is only the beginning. Continue to prove yourself week in and week out, or you're going to find yourself back on the bench. We have proven that we belong, so we can play this game after we have a meeting with our agent. This is absolutely massive. Is this my crib as well? It'd be neat if we could go around it. Thanks for having me over. I've got some exciting news. Oakley is interested in a brand partnership. I've not always admired their gear, but you know what? I'm gonna lie. That's a major brand. I would love to just get a sponsor, get some money in my bank account anyway. They love your style on the field and your visibility, but it's not just about image. They want someone with a consistent high-level play. Is my agent aware that I have sat on the bench the entire year? I don't know. Either way, I'll make sure my performance keeps on climbing. It's going to be hard to go down considering I just became the starter. That's what they want to hear. Oakley wants more than just a face for their ads. They want a real ambassador. So we have unlocked our first brand connection, and it said that they have been added to our sphere of influence. So let's see what that does. It looks like we'll just unlock more of their stuff the higher that we get this. Nothing too crazy there, but it's time for week 11. Us at 4-5, Carolina 8-2. Can we save this team and help them make the playoffs? We're an 83 overall. They're an 80. This is just a normal 1 o'clock Sunday game. It is a real opportunity for us to come out and prove that we deserve this starting role. Kyle Pitts is already dusting that sorry linebacker on him. We're going to be in field goal range with one play, and we might even score a touchdown. I'm going to have to hand it off to Bijan Robinson. Unfortunately, we were not able to make it there, and there were no passing plays to call. But we have our lead. We're going to trust our D. And another thing I think would be cool, this was something you could do on 14 NCAA football. I don't know if you could on old Maddens, but you could actually watch your defense play in Road to Glory. So as we like skip over this, we could see them get the stop, which I think they got. We didn't do that much, but we proved as a starter we can get stuff done. And I think this is where we meet with coach and find out that we have officially become the starter for the Falcons. They didn't make it official last week. Here we go. What are we about to hear? Alexander, you're stepping into the starting role, and it's well-deserved. Thank you, Raheem Morris. I appreciate it. You knew that you always believed in me. Is that it? Listen, I know we've had our struggles here, but most of our fans are some of the most dedicated in the league. Are you ready for the pressure of turning this team around? I am here for the spotlight. I'm here for everybody, but mainly the spotlight. We have a foundation of accountability here, so what's your plan to earn the trust of the players around you? I think being respectful and humble is overrated. Let's lead by example. That's the perfect mindset. Keep setting the tone with the work ethic and you'll inspire the team. Coach is happy with us. And I just saw something pop up about being able to demand a trade. So we are able to demand a trade at the end of the season. That's what I'm doing in this video, just to see where we can end up. But we also get to play as the starter throughout the rest of this year. See, now that we've become the starter, my goal for this video is to see if we can get the Falcons into the playoffs, who are currently just a mid-table team, and then go for a Super Bowl. After we hopefully have success, then I'm going to demand a trade to my favorite team, the Colts. We don't really have any reason to practice. We're going to rest since we're about to start. Message from your agent. Hope you're having a great day. Wanted to give you a heads up. I reached out to my contact at Nike, and there's a potential for a big deal. We got Nike wanting us alongside Oakley. They're interested in working with you. They see you as a rising star. This is great news. It gives us more stuff that we can unlock without having to actually purchase it. And for our weekly activity, the media said a really good play idea was mine, but the coordinator came up with it. Should we correct the mistake? No, I'm not going to correct the mistake. I'm going to take credit for it. This is my road to glory. This is my superstar mode. Your NFL start is a moment you have always dreamed about, but focused. This should only be the beginning. How do you think we're going to do against the Saints? We got them coming out. I'm not sure if we're going to get the stuff like the halftime show inside superstar mode or any of the new presentation. I hope that we do. I will say it automatically is better than what Madden 25 or any of the other Maddens have been recently, because some of their presentations were literally just like a clip for half a second, cutting to a clip for another half a second, cutting to a clip for another half a second, and you couldn't even see what was happening. It just kind of blew my mind. It was like, why would we put this in that way? Stadium pulse, though, already a problem. This could be a long game for us. I didn't upgrade any of our attributes, even though we had the skill points to do so. I also can't hot route or anything. We're going to have to look at our head coach influence and see what it's going to take for us to be able to actually do that. Until we can, we're literally going to have like the same 10 plays to select between, which at some point the defense is going to have to pick up on. Can we escape this pressure? I really wanted to just try and outrun that, but it wouldn't have been worth the risk. They play 17 games in the NFL, so we still have 7 in the regular season. As long as we win like 5 of them, I'm expecting us to be a playoff team. We'll take the check down every day of the week. Beating the Saints inside our division, though, is very important to me. Awesome blocking from our offensive line there. I'm used to using bad teams in the college game, so I am never getting that much time back there in the pocket. We have our running back open in the flat. He gets nailed. And this drive's taken like the entire first quarter, but looks like we're going to be able to finish it off. we needed more time. I wanted to hit our drag really bad there. Instead, we just take a loss that we probably should not have. And trying to force a touchdown was not a good idea. Here's the thing though, our defense has done us right. They made sure that the Saints did not score. I also might want to stay in hurry up mode just so we can get some more options. That one got batted down at the line. It is now 3rd and 4, but every single play is a halfback angle route in it. The Falcons playbook is just treating us well. We're going to see if they go with like a cover 2 deep. That could be super nice. Kyle Pitts, if he outruns 33, he'd have a big catch. That is why we boosted our throw power. And in hurry up mode, I was able to select a play that I've not run yet. It's going to be quarterback blast. Mr. Bean, get up there, take it, and try and outrun this kid. You can't. I can't say kid anymore. I'm not playing the college game. These are grown adults I'm speaking on. There we go. Now we're up 10-0, and we're going to have it back with 2 minutes left in the first half as well to do a little bit more before the end of the quarter. What a move. Darnell Mooney's been solid for us as well, though we're not going to be able to hit him here. I thought we were going to have Bijan in the flat. Unfortunately, he wasn't there, so we're getting hit with intentional grounding. Pretty much, that's just going to end this drive. We can't even call passing play. Coach is forcing us to run the football. Never mind. All I had to do was select by formation, and I can call whatever play that I want. I didn't know that was a thing. I thought we were stuck with whatever our coach suggestions were. And to a certain extent, we are, because there's formations that we just haven't been able to unlock, but a couple of these, we have all the plays available. With 39 seconds left in the first half, I wasn't sure I cared to score, especially since we're stuck in a formation where we have to be very patient to get off some of these snaps. But look at where we're at. We're already at midfield. We don't need that much more of a big gain, and we fit it into the window. We're going to then use our final timeout. It is exactly what we needed there, and to start this third quarter, they must have run match coverage because Kyle Pitts just ran by everybody. They couldn't pick him up in time. We have a 3-possession lead. Coach wants us to go for the 2-point conversion. I won't be greedy here. I will hand this off if it's the correct read and let Bijan go to work. I have noticed our influence never earns a bonus to our head coach, though. I don't love that because what that means is the only way we're going to earn more of his trust is based off of how we perform in practice, and that shouldn't be the case. How we play in the game should have the largest effect. We just ran back the same play twice in a row. We're going to get a touchdown with Darnell Mooney. And I am telling you, this all Madden difficulty is so much easier than Heisman. We have 300 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. I think I've taken like 1 sack, and that is all coming with a quarterback that's not a high overall here. This is a spot in the game, though, where I wish that we could just super sim because we have the lead. We've taken care of business, and we're still going to have to play another quarter. This is where I end up throwing that interception, going for some slightly better stats against the Saints. I think it's going to be our final offensive drive, though, because I have been chewing clock. We're just going underneath. This one's been over for a while. I mean, it is very clear that Coach made the right decision in starting Alexander Bean. But also, our defense was actually perfect against the Saints. And on 3rd and goal, we're trying to make the play with Alexander Bean. He's short. He's down 9 speed. If he was faster, he would have made it. And Coach is going to take us out. I tried my best to get us 1 final touchdown. It might not have come, but we still had an incredible game. Due to that, Coach says it's now time to prove you're a core piece of this franchise, someone the organization can win with. Take the next step to establish yourself as a mainstay. So we've reached level 5 of influence. That's going to allow us to adjust our pass protection. Playbook will level up at level 6, but audibles are all the way at level 8. With 8 skill points available, we are just going to upgrade our accuracy quite a bit. I mean, we've already been hitting a lot of these throws, but this should help quite a lot. Wear and tear damage has us down to just 82 speed on this screen, though. I haven't even been running that much in some of these games, and if there's one X Factor ability we can equip, it's this one. We were named the Offensive Player of the Week, by the way, in our debut. Your dedication and stellar performance last game have really set you apart. Excited to see you continue to dominate on the field. It didn't show any bonuses or anything for that, though. Putting Zip on the ball, the league is on notice. It doesn't look like you're a fluke. Continue getting comfortable and surpass other starters in the league. I don't really know what this is because it looked like it was a game.
The work he has been putting in has not gone unnoticed. It has attracted the attention of one of the team's top players.
Okay.
Who knows the importance of helping teammates take that next step.
Let's see what Drake London has to say. You've been putting in the work and you're a big reason for the success we have here, but it's time to elevate your game even further. Are you ready to lead your teammates to the next level? Absolutely. That's going to increase our influence with him, and he says that's what I want to hear. When you're out there, your focus and intensity set the tone for the whole team. I didn't see any bonuses from that either, so I don't quite know what the point of that was. Through training, though, we clearly need to rest. I mean, this is ridiculous how much damage we've taken. Even that recovery gets us up to 97 speed, so we do have a really high base speed. Not sure how that happened. Weekly activities. Didn't work the first time. Second time, last minute Oakley event. Beat John Robinson, invited you to his home to have dinner with family. We can't, I said this before, I said this again, we can't let our influence get lower with him. I'm not going to disrespect his family. With how little XP either of those decisions make, though, it feels like all those weekly activity decisions are starting to mean less and less. Before we play that game against the Jets, I just had to check out where we're sitting in our division standings. We're a game behind the Buccaneers and the Panthers, so we cannot lose. I want that automatic spot in the playoffs just from winning our division. Looking outside of MetLife Stadium, absolutely sick. I do think so far Superstar is better than last year. It's not even a question about that either. Now, whether or not you think that's worth the purchase of the game, that's up to you. I still think this is going to be the only playthrough I end up doing with it this year, just because I don't love the repetitiveness of the NFL. It's not the same as college to me. I'll enjoy it for like the 7-8 games we play in this video, but it won't have me wanting to go back and play it over and over again. Did Alexander Bean just make the best throw of his career? No, he did not. Even though we increased his accuracy, it's not high enough yet. Though, we know that Kyle Pitts is going to get a step on that linebacker and make a crazy catch. With the way Kyle Pitts has been playing for us, we might as well have Calvin Johnson on this team. Though that halfback screen was not good. We got man-to-man coverage on Kyle Pitts, and he got a hand on it. 3rd and goal here. I'll be content if we end up taking a field goal, but obviously, I'm going to want that touchdown. Coach is going to allow me to hurry this up on the half-yard line and go for it here. I think we're looking underneath to Ray McLeod. We'll see what type of pressure they bring. Bijan's open. He catches. That was an amazing starting drive to this game. Just seeing where this next one is starting, though, we might end up having some problems. Get out of there. I don't feel comfortable on the 2-yard line, though Kyle Pitts could get this. What's probably going to happen is we're just going to have to punt it back to the Jets, though. I stepped too far back in the end zone. That's how I know I still drop way too far back in the pocket. I am very aware that it is a bad habit, but look at the spot on the field that our defense has gotten us the ball back at. We should have our corner out. Maybe not, though. Alexander Bean struggling a little bit in this game. So much for not feeling that much pressure. The Jets are definitely getting it to us, and that could be intercepted. I can't even get upset about it either. That was a great catch. It's got this one sitting at 7-5 as we approach the end of the first half, and I was going to look deep. I know I was asking for way too much time back there, though. We hit Kyle Pitts on this last week. I don't know if he can make that play again. That is the same broken up animation from the college game that we just don't like, though we have the seam. And he went for an aggressive catch. All right, field goal range is still a possibility. I mean, we're about to hit Ray again. There is absolutely no way they give it up 3 times in a row, or maybe they do. Unfortunately, we're going to have to call a timeout here. And we have unlocked our X-Factor ability, actually. Faster passes that can't be picked off by AI defenders. That's what Gambler does. So does this mean I can just beam it over to Kyle Pitts and they can't catch it? I guess it has to be accurate for that to be the case. We're going to try it on 2nd down. There we go. We got Bijan, and nobody is back there to help besides maybe Sauce Gardner trying to chase him down, but he just took a great angle to the end zone, so we have been able to reach it. As you can see, it's showing our stats before this next drive. From a completion percentage standpoint, this one has not been one of my best. I do think there is potential on this play, though, to break off a big touchdown run. We just have to get around this one defender. We also know that a couple of these guys are blitzing, which makes it very easy to have a quick read dialed in before the play even starts. I don't know what that ability is, but if it's like the college equivalent of field general, that's extremely overpowered, and we already have it at this point in our career. I can also see a touchdown, assuming that whoever is on Kyle Pitts isn't quick enough. Maybe not, though. It is 3rd and 10. We're going to step up in the pocket, and we're going to scramble for this first down. We lost our X-Factor ability, though we're still going to try and end this 3rd quarter with a bang. As we drop everybody down, Kyle Pitts has dusted him, and that's a touchdown. Never mind. They're saying he didn't get in, and that's the end of the quarter. So I don't even think I can challenge that, but I swore he had a touchdown there. This is insane. He didn't even try to drag his feet. He got the first one down, but this one landed with his toe on the line. Just such a close call that probably shouldn't have been in the first place, but we can still bounce back. On 3rd and 1, I'm assuming they're going to bring in some very quick pressure, but we got a quick read dialed up to Darnell Mooney. Then we're going to look over the middle of the field to Ray McLeod on this one. I decided not to take it, but Alexander Bean saw the lane and he runs in. We're going to be able to take a 13 or 16 point lead. I can't remember which. For the 2-point conversion, we're about to just take a sack. I mean, there's no escaping this. Wait, Wait, Alexander Bean gets a little bit of life here, and he is gonna try and make it. That probably was not worth the wear and tear damage it's gonna take on him, but we tried. Something I've noticed is it fluctuates from being positive at the beginning of the game, which is why we have something like 97 speed, to being negative at the end. Our defense held it down though. They got another stop, so we're chilling. With a 23-8 win over Justin Fields and the Jets, we're gonna improve to 7-5. Though I just noticed none of the drip that we gave Alexander Bean is saved. Apparently I did that on the showdown uniform, and I have to do it inside of this. That makes so much more sense though why I wasn't able to find anything that was a team color. I'm gonna purchase this arm sleeve and we're gonna rep it if it lets me purchase it. For whatever reason, it says there's an error retrieving our currency balances, so we can't. Apparently the EA servers are just down all around, so I'm gonna have to wait it out. Didn't take too long. We are back inside Superstar, and this game is gonna have some playoff implications and seeding on the line. Headed into this one, the Seahawks are 8-4, we're 7-5. That's a neat Falcon outside of Mercedes-Benz Stadium as well. But anyway, we need to make sure that we win this one. And this is what I'm talking about with the positive wear and tear impacts. We're starting this game with +6 speed. I'm so glad that's not in the college game, the positive wear and tear bonuses, because to go like -15 speed throughout a game is crazy. We're going to start at 97. We're going to finish down like 8 or 9. So we're going to end with 82 speed. That just is a huge impact. And let's see, we know that those two players are going to be blitzing as we hike this ball, so we're going to get it out quick, but I think we're short. We got held to a 3 and out, but the Falcons defense, it was solid. I am so sick of seeing that pass breakup though, whether it's the college game or Madden, and I should have thrown a pick. We might get held to a second 3 and out in a row. We're going to roll out with Alexander Bean, and honestly, just try and scramble for this. He's short. It's not been a good look so far. The Seahawks aren't doing anything either, though. We're going to try and hit him with play action. It's going to be cover 3, and we had to throw that one short. We needed Kyle Pitts to come back to the ball there. We got man-to-man coverage. Drake London, throw him on the cut. Now we got a little bit of momentum going our way, and we're going to keep that up. It has already unlocked our X Factor ability, which just makes it even harder for the computer to make a play and intercept it. That does not mean that you should throw it straight at them though, because if we didn't have that ability, I don't think he would have dropped the ball. It says faster passes that can't be picked off by AI defenders, which is a good thing for us. Just kind of crazy that it's all based off of that ability, but it lets me feel confident in making throws like that. I don't really care about this whole analytics thing here. I'm not reading it ever. I'm more frustrated that we just dropped that ball, and Bijan Robinson, turn up field, get into the end zone there. He does. Next time we get it, we have 53 seconds left in the first half. I just went with a little bit of a fake pass to draw the defense down. You hit them with a pump fake, and then you hit them deep. That's how I like to do it. Now we're going to look on the drag, see which one of our receivers is getting open. Not getting many yards there, that's for sure. Our playbook is also extremely limited still, which means we've got to earn more coach trust soon. I know I can do that in this game by not throwing an interception. That was something that he asked me to do before this matchup. That route is still money. And being on the 27-yard line, I have to wonder, are we going to be able to even get a touchdown out of this drive, or should we just shoot for a field goal and be happy with that? I feel like if I could put Kyle Pitts on a streak, that we would have a lot of potential here, but instead, I just didn't feel comfortable. Maybe he'll be able to find that space over the defense on this play. I'm going to throw a high ball and expect him to go up and catch it. Did he hang on? It looks like he did. He scored a touchdown to end the half. Is he about to start thrust in the air? What are we doing? What a drive, though. That's a ton of influence that we just gained. And I will say, I'm really enjoying that both of the football games we got this year have the no eyes, no picks. I think it's in Madden. Just most of the time, you can throw around linebackers now if they're not turned around and looking at the football. I'm going to have to scramble here, though, as the pocket starts to collapse. What a play by Bean. That is what we saw him do time and time again for FIU. He's getting his chance to shine in the NFL. And we will see if he can just step up in the pocket and throw Pitts or scramble for more. Solid drive so far here in the third quarter. Does play action work? We have a wide open Bijan Robinson, but he was not on a route. If he was, it would have been the freest touchdown of all time. And I know, I should be handing this one off. But since we're not, I'm just going to scramble to make sure that we pick up the first. If I have as much speed as I do, there is no reason that I shouldn't be using it every so often. We still haven't even incurred much wear and tear damage in this game, and that's a tough throw I'm trying to make. Why'd I force it? We were doing so well with Alexander Bean all up until that moment. But you know what? That's something he struggled with in college. He threw a lot of interceptions. He had accuracy issues. And come on. Bijan Robinson with another second was going to have an absolutely nasty play there. Bean escapes the pressure, but gets tracked down. What I had to learn the hard way is they're going to be watching Kyle Pitts very closely. So I did not throw it to him there. And we're going to roll out and see if we can get Playmaker to work for us. I mean, that is a great throw on the run. I don't know where that was in college. Alexander Bean sure was not doing that for us. Without the skill caps holding back his accuracy's development, though, this man has the potential to be a real star in this league, as he could have completed another. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. There's not that much time left in this game. Why would you continue to throw the football? It's all because I want better stats. We are trying to earn as much coach trust as we possibly can. Bijan Robinson is going to be able to get a lot of it for us here because I knew 43 was not going to keep up with him. And I bet Kyle Pitts dust whoever is manned up with him on this play as he does. It's going to be another good win for the Falcons. Having us as the starter has changed everything. 250 passing yards, 4 touchdowns.
Isn't done yet. There are a lot of players and groups people have questions about.
Oh, no.
This week, he's the only one who gets to answer.
They're going to try and trip us up with some of these questions. I already know it. Any comment on the opponent's trash talk, I think that we should trash talk back, but we can't. We have to unlock media level 3. That's annoying. Now we have to be kind. We have to like praise the competition. Then there were some comments that we were a system quarterback, but you know what? We're just going to calm dismiss that. There's no way we're a system QB. I'm not going to get tripped up in any way. It also said that our playbook leveled up, so that's very big. We're going to have an option to have a lot more play calls. We're going to continue to go through training with the same thing in mind, just rest. We're going to get good wear and tear recovery. Now we can go to weekly activities. Bijan invited you to the birthday party of a celebrity friend of theirs, but your strength and conditioning coach wants me to rest. I don't care about resting. We're going to that party. We have somehow been able to get all the way up to level 9 on Bijan Robinson. If he gets to level 10, grab and go is going to be very overpowered. I think it makes them move faster after the catch. Basically, at the moment, we're on everybody's good side because we continue to win. I don't know what is going on here, if it's a visual glitch or what, but it says all of our skills are at 99. I'm going to assume that is not true. And I am going to spend our 4 skill points increasing throw on the run and throw under pressure because those are things that we definitely rely on. With some of our teammate abilities upgrading like the halfback tight end catch drill and the offensive line one, we're able to equip those. And if you're wondering what the standings currently look like, we are in a playoff spot in the NFC. If we go over to the NFC South as well, we're not leading the division yet, but we have a big game coming up. We have just 4 games left in the season, and one of them is against 8-5 Tampa Bay, so we need to win here despite them being a higher overall. It is going to be a prime time game for us, Thursday night football at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Because we're always focused on fully healing our body, as you can see, every single matchup, we're starting with those positive wear and tear impacts. And they had a long first drive where they didn't score. It looked like they were going to score a touchdown, but they got stopped on a 4th down. Our first play, we're dealing with the home field advantage. It's important that we just get some catches out of the way. It's been really neat to see all these different scoreboards as well. My hope is with the college game, they can get some different broadcast ones. I don't know how feasible it is, but it'd be nice to see. On 3rd down, this quarterback draw plays good on the college game. Clearly, not so good on Madden 26. That was actually the exact play that Alexander Bean got so many big rushing touchdowns off of in his career as well. It's crazy we're already at the 2-minute warning. It's shown up as a 3rd and 3 on the scoreboard, though it looks like the first down marker's a lot farther away than that. So I'm not sure what's going on. There's definitely been some visual bugs with the scoreboard so far in this game. We just got to keep on going down the field, though. It's definitely nice to have unlocked some of these 5-wide formations that we've been using. I think we could really get them with 4 verticals here, but we're about to take a sack instead. Give me something like a flood concept so I can actually just read the defense and see what they're in. We couldn't get it out. It is going to be 3rd and 16, and I should have just thrown it to Kyle Pitts. That was a really rough first half, but we were not the only team that was struggling offensively. Quarterback draw actually worked there. They are not being kind with some of the hits that are getting sent our way, though. They are going for damage, and Bijan Robinson is still going to be able to hang on to that football and break a tackle for an extra 10. Maybe I am a system QB, and all I do is I just look for him on whatever route he's sitting on because he is getting wide open. This could be a touchdown, which it is. We still have a long way to go to win this one, but we needed that after the first half. The reason Bijan likes us so much in this playthrough is we show up to his parties. We show up to his family dinners, and we feed him the football. I'm even going to let him run it here, but that did not pan out that well for us. I could try and take a deep shot down the field. It just feels a little risky. That looked janky right there, but we've unlocked another play from the FIU playbook that's come over to to the NFL game. We pitch it over to Bijan Robinson. What I'm noticing is a lot of stuff that worked for Alexander Bean in college. A lot of the stuff that worked for us while using FIU is not working here. But Alexander Bean can still get away with so much because we have some good receivers. I see no reason to not continue to stare down Kyle Pitts as he's wide open for a touchdown here. And I am pretty positive this is not 3rd and goal as we just got back into the game. We're about to lose yards, though. Not a great read. The Buccaneers are trying to fight their way back into this. They need a stop on this drive extremely bad. And they might get it, though. 2 of the guys that are near Kyle Pitts are going to be on a blitz, so we might immediately hit him or wait for him to get open around that coverage. It's off target. There is a chance for the Bucs to come back. But guess what? They couldn't do it. They weren't clutch, so we improved to 9-5. Now, if we look at Alexander Bean's stats, we can't be mad at him. I mean, he played pretty well. He didn't throw the ball that much. His eyes are bloodshot red, though. I don't know what's going on with his player picture. We actually could train as well. If we just did the 20% wear and tear recovery, we would also be able to get the benefit of going through training, though our upper body wouldn't get that full recovery, so we're just going to go with 30% still. I think it's very important that we're always at 100% on all of those. For the weekly activities, security breach, it looks like someone hacked your social media account. Your agent can run down a customer service recovery route, or you can hit up the hacker friend and see what he can do. I might as well just ask the hacker for help. That's why we have him as a friend, right? I guess I could always reset our skills and abilities as well, just so we'd have all of these skill points back. We could put them into other things because of the hacker giving us that option. I'm not going to do it yet. We're playing way too well for that to make any sense at all, though it is nice that you're able to change up what you're using your player for. That's another thing that I think would be nice to have in the college football game, just if you choose the wrong archetype, like I did with Pure Runner, once you realize that, you don't want to have to restart. This game's still going to have its issues, but I was not expecting to be as impressed with superstars I have. I am having a good time playing through it. Normally, I'm just excited once I'm done filming every year. Look at Alexander Bean, though. He's missing passes like you would expect him to. He always has. And I still don't have the ability to audible. I want to be able to audible so bad so we can get some more routes out there in different plays. Coach does not trust us that much yet. What we are going to try and do is throw this above his head. Bijan's not catching it. We might be in field goal range, but I want a touchdown, and we knew that that guy was going to be blitzing. We're going to roll out on the run, find Darnell Mooney. And if they go with man-to-man coverage again, I was ready to scramble and take off, but they sent a blitz, so we had to throw. I know we're playing in a dome here, but what I'm starting to realize is we haven't gotten any weather in our games. We also play in a dome with Atlanta, but I want to get a heavy snow matchup extremely bad in this video. So maybe we can get a playoff matchup at like Green Bay. The heavy snow games just look so chaotic to play in. We're just going to roll out and throw this one for a first down. At the 2-minute warning, I'm able to see that the Cardinals actually got the roof open. But it's Arizona. We're not going to get our snow game here. We are going for a big play. I feel like most of the time when I have tried to do that, it just hasn't worked out well for us. It's always the short underneath passes that do. And let's see, quarterback zone. Is this going to work for us? We're holding blocks to the outside. Alexander Bean gets loose, and Alexander Bean finally gets a rushing touchdown. I feel like it has been so long. I think because he hasn't started most of the year, it's going to be extremely difficult for him to be in any conversations that have to do with Rookie of the Year. But in his time out there on the field, there's just no way anybody's having a better rookie season than him. What a pass. Our offensive line is just giving us so much time back there on every single play. We're about to get another 20. And here we go. Is Kyle Pitts going to get open? Maybe not. So we're going to try and juke behind the line of scrimmage. Keep in mind, we have like 60 juke move, 60 spin move. That's something I've not focused on upgrading, so we shouldn't have done that. And I know that they're going to send 6 on this play. We're going to have a quick read to get this one out. Our drag is there. It's unfortunate. We're only going to be up by 7. And the Cardinals have been able to capitalize on that as they have it at 17-all. I don't know what I thought I was about to do there, but running straight backwards, definitely not it. This is going to be off target. And I think we're about to literally lose to a 3-11 team unless Kyle Pitts can somehow save us. Fortunately, we got the ball back. They did nothing with it, so it is time for Alexander Bean to help us clutch up. We might just run a quarterback zone. I mean, this is the play that scored us that big touchdown. If we pick up the blocks there, it's going to be a 3rd and short. And I honestly do not love this play call for a 3rd and short. I did not mean to select it. but I was going to scramble and pick it up myself. That is a bad time to second guess your decision. We're simply just having an off day, but we have been able to make it to overtime, where if we score a touchdown, we win. The NFL overtime rules versus college have always stunk, in my opinion at least. Though as the team that gets the ball first, we are on the side that benefits from it in this one. Seems like they are just going to send 4 on this play, which means we'll get it out quick to our drag. Bijan gets 9. I am continuously just watching underneath to see what type of coverage the defense gives us. And I know exactly who I should have been staring down there, which is why I'm looking in his direction for this one. And he dropped it. They are going to let us stay out there for this 4th and 2, though. We're not going for it. If we don't pick this up, then we will lose this game. Thankfully, we did. And I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get open versus man-to-man coverage here, but we can't take a sack. That's just bad. We're out of field goal range now. They brought a really good blitz against us, and I missed the check down. Our wear and tear impact is huge, too. We just have to get at least a little bit here, or else this one's over for good. Bijan, do not run backwards. From this moment, all we can do is hope that we hit that field goal, and then the Cardinals do not score on their drive. We will be able to hit it and get the stop. We didn't deserve to win. Just straight up, Alexander Bean did not deserve to get the win there. We can sit there and celebrate all we want, but that was our worst game in a while. After that performance, I think it's pretty obvious that we had to enter the film room at least a little bit. We have to talk about our game plan for the Rams. Henry Brock has said that anything underneath should be prime for the taking, and will I have extra time in the pocket or can I scramble more? I'm curious about time in the pocket. Scrambling's not worked out as well. Seems like you should have extra time in the pocket as they prefer to drop more guys in the coverage. That could also mean more interceptions for me as well, though. Wear and tear recovery has to be prioritized after last week. And we could join the relief efforts for a recent natural disaster, or we could worry more about our style, and we have to become the villain at some point. I'm so confused, though. I feel like I just selected the option where we were going to prioritize our stylist, and it says I joined the relief efforts. Oh, well, I feel like if we can win this game against the Rams on Monday night prime time, then we should be locked into the playoffs. That has become the priority ever since we became the starter here. And I know I was saying earlier on that I wasn't feeling that challenge, that all Madden felt pretty easy, but last week was clearly not that easy for us. Though Alexander Bean, come on, you gotta outrun this guy. Dang it. That could have been the highlight play this video. If that one went for a touchdown after juking out 2 players, highlight play for sure. So much for having some extra time back there against the Rams, though. Everybody looks boxed up on this play. I shouldn't have even thrown that. I still thought we caught it for a second, but apparently it was knocked out on 3rd down. We're just going to laser this to Kyle Pitts. And I'll say this, if we don't unlock the ability to hot route before we get to the playoffs, it's going to be very hard to win it all. That is what I'm really hoping that we can get to. Slants work super well. And look at where our defense just got us the football. We are in prime positioning to score again. I don't think the Rams are going to be able to stop this 5 wide here. They had an extra guy in coverage. We fumbled it too. I'm actually shocked that they still got pressure, but it looks like Bijan's going to be wide open with where that guy's blitzing. I really don't know what ability that is that allows me to see it every time, but it's OP. And apparently coach wants me to complete 10 plus short bullet passes in this game. So that should be number 2. Bijan breaks the tackle. He gets caught. Completing 10 plus short bullet passes, though, is an awful lot. Once again, one-on-one opportunity. I would have loved to see Bijan break free there. Are they going to send a blitz? It was hard to tell. I was a little hesitant there, but we just have open receivers. I mean, we are cooking them with 5 wide, immediately taking the slant. And this is a game that normally by this point would just be over, but our defense has not shown up versus the Rams today. We got 2 rushes for 47 yards. I mean, what more could you ask for out of Alexander Bean? This is the easiest completion and read I have had to make all season as Kyle Pitts goes for a lot. And let's see, are we going to be able to get this one out for a touchdown? No way he catches that. If I didn't hold down so long, if Alexander Bean had a little bit better accuracy, we would have had it. But now it is 3rd and 10. It's looking like we're not going to be able to crack the end zone on this drive, except they left Kyle Pitts wide open. I mean, that first half could not have been more perfect. We started the 3rd quarter by losing the football. He not only forced it, but he got to it before us. I just had to mess up doing something bad. That keeps the Rams in this game. But once again, nobody wants to guard Kyle underneath. It is literally the easiest completions of my life. Bijan is about to dust that poor kid. And let's see, as we continue to move it down the field, we're going to go for a awful read. They should have intercepted that. For a split second, we thought we could literally just place that anywhere. We're going to have to go underneath on 3rd and 4. Alexander Bean keeps us moving the chains, and let's go with a direct snap. See what holes open up. we aren't going to be able to go all the way. But we are now on the 10-yard line, and the delayed slant wasn't open. We still caught it. I'm just used to that one being naked. There's another touchdown. And if we're ever going to go for 100 rushing yards in a game, this feels like the one where that's actually possible. To complete our coach goal, though, we still need to complete one more bullet pass underneath, which we just did. And we're going to space them out with the 4 verticals where Kyle Pitts just dusted that guy. The safety gets back to play it. At this point in the game, everything that we do doesn't really matter. It's over no matter what, but it would be nice if we were able to get another touchdown just to make our stats look even better. I still wish that we could beat the press every so often. I was watching it for the first time, and it actually worked. That probably has been there more often than I've seen. And we just dropped 42 points on Matthew Stafford and the Rams. That's the most we've ever scored. 317 passing yards, 6 touchdowns. We are truly becoming a superstar as we can reach the highest tier of active players by becoming one. That is our next goal with the media. We still have a press conference after the game. Alexander, great win today. What was the biggest factor that allowed you to get the job done? I'm gonna say players stepping up. That's just gonna increase more of our influence there. We don't need to take credit for anything. Unalvum was 2,000 passing yards on the year. How does that make me feel? I'm very thankful for our receivers. Wait. If I praise our coaches, they're going to get an ego boost. We need more influence there. I want the ability to audible this season. That's the next thing that Raheem Morris is going to give us. The playbook can level up again. Hot routes are going to be there too. You might notice though that Bijan Robinson, we've maxed out our connection for him, and it said that he became a part of our inner circle, but he's not showing up there yet. With our final 2 games of the season, we could still get a first round bye in the playoffs, though we would need the Cowboys and the Panthers to lose. And I can't believe we've already made it to this point in the season. We won Offensive Player of the Week again. We are 1 game away from the playoffs.
Every player hopes to someday be known as a true superstar, but in a constant pursuit of perfection, it only takes someone else to fill them in when the status has been reached.
I don't know how I feel about all these clips, by the way. They keep on popping up before these conversations, just saying the most generic stuff ever. Alexander, you've been turning some heads lately. Just know when you're in the spotlight, you're not only playing for yourself, you're carrying the hopes of your teammates and the legacy of this franchise. How are you handling the pressure? I'm feeling the weight of it. No. Pressure is my playground. Let's make Coach happy. We also got challenged by a famous streamer to a game, which I want to take the challenge on. We might as well do that. The tattoos just weren't adding up that quick, and this is a massive one for us. I don't know if there's a ticker at the bottom of the screen that tracks the other games going on at the same time. I know it's something they have in the college one, but we have to keep an eye on the one with the Panthers and the Bucks. This is pretty cool as well. We got our Falcon mascot jumping off the roof. Anyway, if we win, Panthers lose, we get that first round bye in the playoffs. We're gonna start this game off just by hitting our drag. Saints have already scored. Apparently, this is a play that has an RPO in it where we could have a quarterback draw. I'm gonna take off. Alexander Bean, see if he can spin out a defender as well, get 20 yards. It feels like any time a quarterback's in the open field, though, the defense has been going for hit sticks on this game. They're trying to hurt us. We just got to experience the Kyler Murray simulation. We had our pass batted down. This one is off, but they committed PI, so we're still going to get the first. Now it's time to go for the read option. I want to get a big run with Alexander Bean. They're ready for it. We can't juke. It really has not been his rushing ability that's been his strong suit. In this entire video, they were playing us underneath, though. We've been making those catches. The first one to that ball all season. Our defense got to stop. Unfortunately, I was just staring down Bijan Robinson there, and I'm probably going to do the same thing on this play, though. He got the defender to commit, and we should be able to scramble in. The Saints did score again, though. And here's the thing. No matter what happens the rest of this season, I will still be demanding a trade whenever I can, just because I want to test out that feature. So we could win a Super Bowl, and I'll still leave. I just want to get the full superstar experience, be able to show you all what all you can expect if you end up playing it yourself. And if I could just hot route Kyle Pitts, we would have the freest completion of all time. I guess we could still get that here. Break a tackle. Come on. Ray McLeod almost got the perfect bounce off of that. I don't know why we stand weirdly behind the line like that, but we have a wide open Darnell Mooney. We'll take a touchdown. And to start this third quarter, we are in a tie game where I'm hoping that we can finish this one off strong too, but Bijan just fumbled. There's not much that we can do about that. Kool-Aid McKinstry, he went to Alabama. He forced it. Good for him, man. He always had a sick name. We can still bounce back. It's just really annoying to have to deal with that. I have no idea what's going on across the country either. So this game could mean nothing. The Panthers could be wrapping up their win, making sure that they're the 1 seed, and we didn't get it. That's really frustrating to see. I'm going to try and throw this one to Darnell Mooney. knowing that he's going to cut back, but it's a missed throw from Alexander Bean. What more can you expect? If this man doesn't play perfect, I crap on him, even after everything he did for FIU, because we're in a spot where we're probably going to lose to the Saints, and we really shouldn't. Maybe we'll be able to get a big play out of this, though, get the defense distracted. That would obviously be ideal. Wide open. Ray McLeod is going to get caught, or he's going to break a tackle like a grown man. Hope is not lost yet in this one. We're going to make a quick read to Bijan Robinson, then follow it up with a quarterback draw. This should get us into the end zone here. We just got to read the line, and we did. It has been a rough first 3 quarters. It did not take many mistakes to get into this position, which is why you never know how you're going to end up doing. But we are not out yet. We were able to get a stop. We have the gambit ability underneath, and that means the computer is going to really struggle to intercept some of these passes. See, it allows me to try and force stuff, and if it works out for us, it's incredible. If it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. It is actually the perfect ability for my play style. This one is going to be caught, and I just realized if we get an opportunity to throw up a streak, this is the perfect time to do that. We're going to try and force this one right there. Ray McLeod now has over 100 receiving yards in this game, and do I want to send this one to Kyle Pitts? I do. That's our second incomplete pass, so now the ability is gone, but just the fact that they weren't able to catch that is a miracle. It is now 3rd and 10, though, and Bijan was able to get open as he gets to the 1. I think we're going to be able to throw him here, especially if that outside guy's on a blitz, but he wasn't, and we're just ready to scramble. The hard part is that is going to tie up the game, but we didn't know what our defense was going to do. What they did was they got us the ball, but on the 1-yard line, I don't know what type of route Bijan's on. It's just going to be a slant. The display of it looked weird, and now that we were able to complete that one, we're going to try and throw it over his head. What am I thinking? That was Justin Reed that I just tested. I thought I was throwing at a linebacker. They must have missed their field goal, though, because somehow we've made it to overtime where they were not able to score either. No shot. They just brought a blitz there when we had an easy read dialed up. I've learned from that last interception. I'm not going to try and lead somebody to the outside with the passes. If they're not open, they're not open. This one from Alexander Bean was perfect, though. And all that it takes is being in field goal range to end this one, which we're close to. The fact that the Saints weren't able to win this is actually insane because they had it. All they had to do was kick a field goal. It would have been over, but instead they messed up, and Alexander Bean is going to rush for 15 more. I wish I was able to just send out the field goal unit now, but as long as we don't throw an interception, all will be well. We can still get a touchdown. If we don't, though, it might not be the end of the world since they got us on a 3rd and 1. And we dropped it. Now I can expect that we'll kick. The computer actually did the smart thing. I'm glad that it worked, and we've been able to finish out this season on a winning streak. I think we threw the most interceptions we've ever thrown, but it ended up working out. And unfortunately, the Panthers did finish 13-4, so we are not going to be the 1 seed. What the playoff picture looks like is we're going to have to play the Rams in the first round. It still blows my mind the Panthers are the 1 seed. That was like the last thing I would have expected. We are in a team meeting, though. I couldn't be prouder of how hard you all have worked to get here. How are you planning to harness the playoff pressure? Together, we're unstoppable. We just got to make our team feel good. There wasn't even any bonuses from saying that, so it wasn't worth it. Here is what hurts, though. I think Drake London is injured because it says the playoffs are already tough as it is, but you're missing your wide receiver 1 puts it on a whole different level, so we're not going to have Drake London. He is on the injury report week to week, so he could be back in the future, which is nice. Just really stinks that right now he's not going to be here for the wild card. We are also headed on the road to play at the Rams Stadium, which I don't love, especially since they were already able to score on their first drive. But this is where Alexander Bean can really make a name for himself, forcing some passes. They're going to bring in a blitz, and we're just going to be able to get this one out really quick so we can complete the drag, also run for quite a while. A lot more yards than I was imagining that we were going to get off of that play. And once again, our drags are just getting wide open for a touchdown. Jamal Agnew was not a name I thought I was going to see while filming this video. That guy was an absolute cheat code for me in my online dynasties against my friends in Madden 20. I'd always trade for him and then move his position because he had a superstar ability as a returner. We're going to throw this underneath. Just trying to end this first half with a touchdown. I mean, it is just flown by, and Kyle Pitts is going to be able to get over to that one. I thought that was out of reach. It is not a throw Alexander Bean would have been able to make whenever he was in college. With a quarterback run up the middle, we'll take another 10. He's actually looking like he wants this win more than anybody else right now, so I'll go with another direct snap. Never mind. Our offensive line just got folded there. We are looking for the slant in the back of the end zone. Not getting your feet down, though. Pretty big deal. We're going to have to be able to have Darnell Mooney get open. And unfortunately, he just didn't get separation. If that was Drake London, we saw it this season. We'd have a touchdown 9 times out of 10. Fortunately for us, the Rams offense hasn't been on. So they were only able to finish that first half with 7 points. And I was looking for a deep play here. Did not expect that to work. I can't believe how much Alexander Bean has just been shredding defenses in this video. It's honestly been just fun to watch. He has entered the zone again with X Factor. We're going to be able to step up here. Wait for Kyle Pitts to hopefully get separation. And you know what? He might as well just scramble because he can run this in easily. I could customize our celebrations a little bit too, just because we have been taking those dance lessons. The customization is something that I know a ton of people care about. I typically just don't dive that deep into it. On a 2nd and 10, we're going to make it 3rd and 2. This is a big play in the 3rd quarter. I can see that these guys are blitzing, which is not great news. It is going to take us off of the field. It's why I need the ability to audible, but it won't even matter because look where we have gotten the football. Our defense has done it for us. They've come out the 2nd time against the Rams and played so much better. We're up by 17. And by the time that Los Angeles would score again, it's not going to matter because we have the ball back and we're just going to be able to bust off a huge run with Alexander Bean. He isn't going to go all the way, but it sure looked like he was going to for a second, and I still want those stats. We are comfortably moving on to the next round of the playoffs. And basically, every single week now, we've just been having to go through interviews as we've become a superstar. The offense hasn't always been in top form this season. You want to know what the difference was? It was making me the starter. So we're not going to be humble. We're going to be confident. Even coach wants to talk to us again. He said the playoff atmosphere is going to be intense. Are you prepared to lead us to a statement win? I know how big the moment is, coach. I handled stuff like this at FIU. Actually, he didn't. He never won a playoff game for us, but he did help us get to the playoffs when Darren Moody got hurt. Is this game at Minnesota? I guess they play in a dome, so it's not going to matter. I don't think we're going to get a snow game. I was really hoping we would, though. They're the higher seed, so they are going to host it. And even if Detroit happened to win, they also play in a dome. Carolina's not going to get a heavy snow game. Just unfortunate stuff all around. Our agent has told us we're winning Offensive Player of the Week. Excited to see you continue to dominate. That's about all before we enter this next matchup, though. The Vikings went 11-6. It is going to be another one that shouldn't be that easy for us to win, but also one that we can come out on top of. It is always a little bit terrifying whenever you start your first drive on the 2, but that is no problem for Alexander Bean. We're going to get this throw out quickly as well, where Drake London's back. We also have the option to audible in this game now. We aren't able to hot route still, but just being able to audible, massive deal to me. Alexander Bean runs backwards to chuck this one up to Bijan Robinson. He didn't catch it. A little bit disappointing, but look at this. If I wanted to go over to curl flats, I could just change the play call like that. And here we go. Another play where I'd love to see a big game. Haven't really made any deep reads so far, though this one to Kyle Pitts will be a farther throw. And Drake London's already down to 74% wear and tear. It's pretty hard to read it if you don't take a close look at the screen. We didn't even catch the ball there, and we had a holding penalty. Not really ideal, but maybe the Vikings will think that we're going to run the football, and instead, we can hit them with a deep throw. I'd say that is a pretty solid ending to this first quarter. Will the play action work 2 times in a row, though? That's the real question. And we are shooting out of there with Alexander Bean to get 10 yards. Depending on how that outside corner plays Kyle Pitts, we would have a really quick throw out to him. But if it's man-to-man coverage, Alexander can take this in. I mean, his rushing ability is something I've not used as much as I should have throughout this entire season, honestly, because he could take off on every play. I've almost turned him into a pocket passer. Now, Vikings responded, so we're going to need points too. Through that hit, the fact that Ray McCloud even held onto the football is impressive to me because he just got absolutely rocked. And they fumbled it there? Apparently there was a holding call, so they're going to decline it. The Vikings came out hitting hard on that drive. They've taken a 14-7 lead, and I'm going to try and playmaker Bijan Robinson. I wanted a big gain there because we're trying to end this first half strong. I'm doing the same thing, but that just didn't work out. We're going to basically get one more play before the end of this first half, and that was supposed to be a 4 verticals. At least we're going to get a chance to throw up this Hail Mary. Will Darnell Mooney be able to moss 2 defenders? I just don't see it happening. The Vikings have definitely put us in a very hard spot because of how their defense played. There's still a lot of time left in this game, though. We're just beginning the second half. Drake London is going to be able to get open there and also make that cornerback just look bad. He is literally running circles around him. and he is once again just dusted whoever was supposed to be manned up. It is so nice having him back on this offense. We're going to roll out with Alexander Bean and set our feet here. I think we got the touchdown. We do. But guess who scored again? The Vikings did, which means we're going to have to respond back with a touchdown of our own. Good start. I would really love to put Bijan on a streak here, but we're just not going to be able to do that. They're going to get in pressure after I was staring him down. I didn't even have another read in mind, which is my fault. He's going to get this halfback angle route, help us get the first. And there was actually an injury timeout for the Vikings linebacker there because he hurt his hand, which I just think is absolutely hilarious. That shouldn't be caught. We certainly lucked out with that one. Bijan open in the flat, going to take us to the 2. And it's about time that we finish off this drive. I'm looking at Kyle Pitts. If he's not there, we'll take the slant. Not the best throw I've ever seen from Alexander Bean, but he got us the points that we needed. And with 1:17 left on the clock, all the Vikings did was get a field goal. So we're going to win this one with a touchdown that Kyle Pitts might very well just take to the house right here as no one can catch him. We all know what this means, though. The Vikings have a chance to win, and I can't do anything about it. They didn't. We're going to come out on top. We were able to stop them, and we are going to leave their stadium with a win on 4 touchdowns, almost 300 passing yards. It has also come to my attention that I've completely forgot about developing some of our skill points. By not spending some of them, we've just been absolutely wasting them, but now we're going to be able to develop all of our accuracies up to 85 for 10. This is going to unlock some new abilities that we could use. I'm not sure if I'll end up doing that, though, because I like the ones that we currently have, and we are literally winning Offensive Player of the Week every week at this point. Conference Championship, man, I don't need to tell you how big this week is. I know, Drake London, you know I'm ready. Glad it's at home too. We're going to get the home game, so that means we're playing the Lions. How are you feeling about this matchup against Detroit? I think we're going to take care of business. I'm honestly not worried at all. We've really handled ourselves well all year. We still need to get that playbook level up and hot routes by earning more coach trust, but for most of these people, we've been able to basically just max out their influence. And of the 4 teams left in the playoffs, I am scared of the Bills and the Ravens, but not the Lions. They've been good recently, but they just went 10-7, and we got that home field advantage. I might have just lit a fire under Dan Campbell by saying that, but I think we're going to be okay. The Lions spent 4 minutes only getting 3 points on their first drive of the game. You know we're going for that touchdown. I feel like in this video, I've been able to complete like a crazy amount of these drives, and I bet they're going to commit to the run here, so we should have a huge pass down the field. Darnell Mooney gets open at the 25. For this next play, if it's zone coverage, I already had an idea of what I wanted to do. We would have been much better off getting that pass out, though. And that's what we're going to do on this next one, as Ray McLeod gets some separation. When the Falcons drafted me, I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about the core that we're throwing to, but they've been incredible. Kyle Pitts especially. I think him, especially being how fast he is, has been the biggest difference maker of them all, because we could literally hit them with this play again, and I think it's just going to always work out. Especially, we roll out. Okay, he's guarded maybe. We'll scramble. Poor Alexander Bean just got absolutely rocked there. And we can throw this out route because we knew those 2 guys were blitzing. There are so many situations, though, where if I could just put a streak out there on the field, I would trust our offense so much more. That's off target. And I just realized if we take this final 2 minutes and end the first half with a touchdown, we're going to be in an incredible position against Detroit. So that is what we're shooting for. This play right here where we got a corner route and a drag route out there on the field has also been money for us. It has been so weird to play this game versus college, where most of the time since I'm using those worser teams, we're dropping the passes. We don't have time in the pocket. Our receivers don't get open. We don't make accurate throws. And then in this game, it's just been like perfection on almost every front. With another catch off of the drag, this time, they guarded it decently well. I scrambled. Alexander Bean took a shot for sure, but I wanted to run down time in this half before we went for 6. Now we have the ball to start the 3rd quarter, and the Lions are in a really rough position. I already feel like we got this one wrapped up, so I'm going to start doing some dumb things as we go for some bigger plays in this game. Though right here, we're just going to get it out. It probably is too soon for this one to be over already, but we just seem to do everything right. I mean, we are just making like no mistakes at all. And Alexander Bean is going to be able to scramble, juke out a defender, and then have a chance to go for a massive play here. We're throwing this one up. You know what? Let's see if we can catch it anyway. It was worth a chance. I genuinely do not know how we come down with that. I don't know why it feels so easy on all Madden, but it's just been absolute cake for us. It just doesn't even make sense to me that for the game that I rarely play, I dominate on the hardest difficulty. But for the college game, the game that I play all the time, the hardest difficulty there still is extremely hard for me to do stuff on. Alexander Bean, by the way, has a chance to go for his biggest touchdown yet, and he gets away. That's the type of stuff we saw him do at FIU. And can you tell how bored I am yet? I'm literally running Hail Mary in the playoffs because I think it's going to allow us to get another big play. No wonder the Madden people that play college football and then complain immediately about how hard it is complain the way they do, because this is easy. I mean, I'm in the first year of my career. We've not had the best accuracies all season, but we're about to be in the Super Bowl. We do have a scrambling quarterback. I guess that is something important to keep in mind, but we might be able to pull off this play too. And we're going for another touchdown in the playoffs against the Lions. I was letting some time run off so we could end it. We didn't end up getting in, but that's okay. We're still going to win 35-10, and we're Super Bowl bound. How am I feeling? I'm very thankful. I was not expecting to do this well. My thoughts on the Lions was I can talk trash now. Wait, unlocked media level 8. I thought it was media level 3. I'm just going to compliment their coaching, even though they absolutely stunk. My expectations for the Super Bowl is I'm going to guarantee a victory. I feel like we should do that. We haven't lost yet, so I don't see why the Bills would be able to beat us. And let's see what Raheem Morris is going to say. Can he just tell me that I have permission to hot route whenever I want? That's what I would love to see. We're going to fire the team up as well. We've been waiting for this moment. This is a quarterback that sat on the bench as we ended up winning a championship in college. Now he's going to lead us to a Super Bowl. Celebrity Dance First thought of a really cool dance move for your Super Bowl celebration. Your head coach thinks you should focus on the game instead of wasting your time. I think spending time with Mia Cruz is going to help me play better in the Super Bowl, coach. Just hear me out. It is time that we start to wrap this video up. We're going to see if we can lift that trophy, if we're actually able to request a trade to whoever we want. And let's see what this presentation is all about. It is in San Francisco this year. Just learned that. I didn't know the Super Bowl is going to be there this year. We're coming out of the tunnel, walking slow. We're not getting too hyped up yet. Look at the lights back there too. I can't really speak on if Madden stepped up its presentation that much because I just didn't play it that much the last couple of years. But from what I've been able to see, everything looks a lot better, and it's not cutting away to different clips every half a second. I know the Eagles intro is really cool as well. We didn't get to see that one. But are the lights going to be too bright, or are we going to be able to take care of business? Coming into this one, you know we got those positive wear and tear bonuses, plus 6 speed and throw power. Josh Allen only got his team a field goal on their first drive, and we're going to be looking to scramble with Alexander Bean, though they have somebody waiting on him, which sucks. If that guy was not there, we might have a touchdown. We are able to audible, but we're not able to hot route still, unfortunately. Drake London, I will take a shot. Are you going to make a play to open up this game? You are. These receivers are literally catching anything you throw in their direction. They're coming down with. We're going to obviously just pin it in there. Like I said, these guys are catching everything, so they're not going to drop it. The presentation has also looked really cool for the Super Bowl so far. For whatever reason, my coach goal for this game is throw 7 touchdowns in a game. I don't know why that is my goal for the Super Bowl. That feels like a lot. So we're not going to complete that, but we are going to be able to roll out here. And if Kyle Pitts just blocks that kid, aka a grown man that just rocked Alexander Bean, we would have had a great chance to get a huge play there. Instead, they've baited us. We've thrown a pick. We're going to have to go for the hit stick ourselves. I was so overconfident and cocky because I just haven't struggled that much while playing this video. I didn't even imagine I was going to throw an interception again. Now that we have, though, we're going to have to lock in to finish this one out. Drake London makes the snag. It's still seeming like we're going to end the first half with the lead. It's just going to have to come with a couple more throws. No reason for us to immediately try and force something to the end zone when we can just go underneath to Bijan. He always gets open with those drags, but I am a little afraid that we just took way too much time off the clock, which is why we're scrambling here. Did not mean the jump, though. That could have been extremely bad for us, and they boxed it up. Now coach is taking us off the field with 6 seconds left. And guess what? We somehow didn't even hit that field goal. I don't understand why he would do that to us, but we have the ball to start the second half. I still think they need another year of work with that tackling system. By the way, you still get those wonky animations. Just noticing them on both the college and Madden games. That sack there was not good to take, by the way. It's 3rd and long, but I think we got enough. What a play from Alexander Bean. Are we going to get zone coverage? You know what? We did a pump fake and then we went for the streak. It's underthrown, though. That could have been a touchdown for us. Instead, we're going to look for Darnell Mooney again, and that's going to help us move the chains. He's been getting a lot of looks, but what can you do about that? It's going to be 3rd and 20, where the Bills are probably going to stop us unless we just turn around to this pass first. The lights might have been too bright. The Bills would go on to get a field goal, so they're going to have a 6-point lead against us. But we're just going to go for a quick touchdown, hopefully in like the next 30 seconds. So if they're able to respond after we get some points, we will then have a chance to respond again. This could be intercepted. I was expecting us to be out there in 4 verticals, but the play that you call on this screen doesn't end up being the play that you run. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I feel like the defense is weirdly aligned here. What just happened? I mean, if you can figure out how to reproduce that and you play in online games, that might be the glitchiest thing I've ever seen in my life. There's the touchdown we were hoping for. They have a lot of time to get in field goal range. It might have been a mistake not just running the rest of the clock out and then scoring a touchdown in the final seconds, but here we go. It is time to trust our defense, see if they can stop Josh Allen. They didn't. They gave up a field goal. But what's important is we have 42 seconds to respond, and with those 42 seconds, we're going to start off by running for 8. Now, I didn't realize we had no timeouts left, so that was a huge mistake there. I'm trying to hike the ball, by the way. It's not letting me do anything. It's not letting me do anything. The rest of the clock's about to run out because I can't hike the ball. That's going to be it. Come on. Come on, EA. Just when I wanted to say that I was having fun in Superstar mode, this is how we're going to lose the Super Bowl. What are we talking about, dude? You can't hike the ball. I can't audible. I can't hit any button. The rest of the clock just ran out. Genuinely, the worst time for that to happen, too. This is the saddest thing I've ever watched. I'm just sitting here in silence. And I was curious, what did our season stats look like? It's going to pop up the career stats, though, even when you click into player stats. For whatever reason, it's showing career stats here. We had 23 passing touchdowns, 5 picks, 2,300 yards. I think this stopped tracking once we got to the playoffs. I'm just really sad. I want to leave Atlanta after that. I'm going to try and force a trade. We have a check-in with our agent in the offseason. I think this is where we get to do it. Are you happy with how things are going under Atlanta with Coach Morse? No, we're demanding a trade. I'm so disappointed with how we lost that Super Bowl. There will be fallout here. A new head coach will respect your leadership. However, you have to rebuild all of your teammate relationships from scratch. I do not care. I'll send over a list of teams and see if we can get you somewhere that'll make you happy. Looks like you could go about anywhere, but you can see what their positional need is at every one of these positions. You know the Colts need a quarterback. We're going to our favorite team. That is where Alexander Bean is going to end up and theoretically go on to win many Super Bowls, many MVPs. Now, obviously, I have to give my full review on Superstar mode. With how devastating of a loss and a glitch that was in the Super Bowl, it had to take it down like an extra 1.5 points. That was so annoying. It's been the best Superstar mode I've ever played on, just because they actually added stuff that needed to be there. I'm actually glad that I gave it a chance. There's still stuff that needs to come in the future, like having more positions, more depth. If you look over at 2K's My Career, you can definitely see that. Just don't take the microtransactions over here as well. So let me know in the comments what all you all liked about it, what you didn't like. I'd give it like a 7.5 right now. I'm just happy that Superstar mode got a little bit of attention.